Hey, it's Professor Shoemaker again, and so in this video I'm going to show you how to do a join that involves multiple tables. And here's the result from the query. We're going to have the student's last name, first name, so that comes out of the student table. We're going to have the name of the course that the student took, that has to come out of the course table. The department name that offers that course, so IT 1000 is offered by the Information Technology Department. And then finally the grade that the student received, which is in the registration table. So the question is, how do we put together a query that pulls stuff out of all these different tables? Well, here's the query, and I'm going to split the screen here so we can see the schema diagram on the screen at the same time. So let's see how this works. First of all, we have a select statement, and we say student last name, first name, the name of the course, department's name, and the registration grade. So those are the columns across the bottom of the query. And notice that since we pulled course.name and department.name, we can't name them both just names, so they get renamed as course and department, and they show up here in the bottom of the query the way we'd like them to be. So we're starting with the student table. You can start anywhere, but it makes sense because we're going to work sort of left to right across the query here. So we come from the student table and we do an inner join on registration. That's crossing this link right here, and we do the join on student ID equals registration.student ID. So we link this primary key in student over to the student ID in the registration table. Then we need to get over to course and department here so we can pick up the course name and the department name. And to get that, we have to step through a section on the way, because there's no direct connection between registration and course. You have to go directly through, you have to go through section. So we join in section on registration.section ID. That's right here. Is the foreign key pointing at the primary key in section, section ID. So that gets us to the section table. Then we take one more step to get over to the course table. So we inner join course on section ID equals section ID.course ID. This foreign key right here, course ID, points at the primary key over here, the ID field in the course table. That will let us pick up the course name. Then finally we need to step over to the department table to get its name. And then we join inner join course on department course.department ID. We pick up the department ID here equals department.id down here, and we finally pick up the primary key. So that's how you step through a bunch of tables to pick up the fields. Now, one of the things that's sort of interesting about this query is we pick up first name and last name from student. We picked up grade from registration. We picked up name from the course. That's the course column over here. And then we picked up the name from the department table. That shows up here. Notice there's no fields on the output for the section table. Section table still has to be in the join because we need to step through it from registration to get to course. But I didn't feel like putting any names from the section table into the output of the query. I don't have to if I don't want to, but I do have to include section table in order to traverse from registration over to course. So this is how you write a little more complex query that has outputs from it has 5 tables in the join, but outputs from 4 different tables: student, course, department, and registration. Over here is these long series of joins, just so we can traverse through the tables, and then finally at the bottom is the order by. So that's how you write a query that brings in a bunch of tables. You just walk across the diagram from student to registration to section to course to department.